Hi everyone, welcome along to our webinar today. It's Andrew Sims here from SuiteFiles, and today we're going to look at the best practice for setting up a Windows PC for use with SuiteFiles. Hopefully it's a nice quick session today. It shouldn't take us too long, but we're going to go through a few things. So in terms of setting up your computer for using the SuiteFiles, there are a couple of things we want to go through first. First of all, just our system recommendations. We'll have a look at those. Then we're going to look at how to set up the browser, in particular Chrome, and also how to set up the Outlook add-in so that you get the best performance from SuiteFiles on your Windows computer. So our recommended setup, this is pretty straightforward. We always recommend that you have the latest of everything. So Windows 10, Outlook, actually I should say Office 2016, but Outlook 2016 is going to be what you want for our Outlook add-in, and the Chrome browser. Now, these are our recommendations. We think you're going to get the best performance with this configuration. There are other configurations of PCs that work, and some of you will probably be using those already, but as I say, we always recommend that you've got the latest and greatest so that we know exactly what you're using in the versions that are out there. Now let's get into the interesting stuff. So let's get in first of all to the browser and Outlook setup. Across the top of the screen here, I've got a URL which is from our Help Center. This actually is a link that shows you all of the stuff as well. And I'm going to put this video up here in the Help Center once we're done today also. So first of all, let's go back. So let's go into the browser, and let's have a look at how we set things up in the browser. So I've got SuiteFiles open here, and at the moment I have got nothing in particular set up, so it's just like I've using SuiteFiles for the first time. Now the first thing that we recommend you do is you set up your SuiteFiles site, or actually your SharePoint.com site, as a trusted site in your internet browser. Now when you're using Chrome, the way that you do this is you go into your settings. That's the little settings icon top right of the Chrome browser, and we click settings. We need to go at this point to our advanced settings, and we're looking for this network option here and the change proxy settings option there. This brings up our internet properties. We want to go into security, trusted sites, and then we click the sites button. Now you can see here there's already a few things that have been set up, but what I need is just simply straight old SharePoint set up as a trusted site. This, by doing this, it'll essentially suppress a message that you could be getting when you're opening any file from SuiteFiles, and there's a message that comes up and says, are you sure you trust the location that this document has been opened from? So by doing this, let's get it right, type in https://star.sharepoint.com. It means that your SharePoint site, or your SuiteFiles site, will be trusted for when you're opening files in the future. We just click Add, Close, and that part's done. It's really straightforward. Just as I say, a quick setting change in the Chrome browser, and your files will be trusted. The next thing that we recommend you do is load our Chrome extension. Now, our Chrome extension is really useful for people who in particular want to use the web apps for Office. Yeah, so we recommend you doing that, but we're also doing a whole bunch of other work in our Chrome extension, which you'll find over the next few months. There'll be more and more functionality that comes out of that. So putting the Chrome extension in is again reasonably straightforward. In SuiteFiles, you click on the little waffle icon in the top right corner. When I hover over it, it says Suite Apps. Click on that, and we look for the SuiteFiles Chrome plugin. Click on that. Takes us to the Chrome Web Store and brings up our SuiteFiles Chrome extension. And all we have to do is click Add to Chrome. And then, of course, Add Extension. Just checking. There we go. It's done. Once you've done that, it's all there. You'll actually see the little icon, if you've got it installed, up the top right of the screen in the Chrome browser. And we can just close that page once it's done. So those are the first two things that we need to do in the browser behind the scenes. The settings, making SuiteFiles or SharePoint a trusted site, plus also installing the Chrome extension. The next thing is something that gets a lot of people. Chrome has a thing, it's called the external protocol request. And what it means is that every time you try to open an application out of the Chrome browser, the browser will ask you and want to ensure that you know what you're doing the right thing. Maybe you've clicked a link inadvertently and it's going to fire something up that you didn't want to. So Chrome is just asking. It's basically a security setting. But what you can do is you can change your settings so that for specific files or applications, you always know that you do want to open these. In particular, we're thinking about the Office applications. We know that if we click on a file, a Word document, for example, or an Excel spreadsheet, we always want to fire up Word or Excel directly into directly from the browser onto our desktop computer. Now let me just double check my settings here, make sure that I'm going to be opening onto the desktop. Yes, I am. Okay, so what's going to happen now, first time I've come in, if I click on this, this Excel spreadsheet, I get this little screen that comes up and it says, do you want to remember your choice and do you want to open it? And actually, as you saw, it only stayed there for a short amount of time. Now, the correct thing to do, let's try it with the Word document this time, is to check, remember my choice for Word 2016 links. It ran away on me. Let's try it again. I didn't do it fast enough, and then click Open Word. That changes the settings behind the scenes in Chrome so that every time now I open a Word document, it's going to open directly and it's not going to give me that little pop-up message. So I open that file, let's come back out. Let's do it again. Now you'll see I don't have that little pop-up come up. Now it's possible that when you're doing this, you get a little bit pressured for time. Maybe you click the wrong buttons. Let's do the wrong setting for the Excel spreadsheet. Let's click Remember My Choice and let's click Don't Open. What I've done now is I've set things up in Chrome that I can't open Excel files. And the behavior that you'll see at this point is if I click on the document, it just opens a blank tab and then closes it again. And a lot of people come to us with this issue. Now there is a fix. It's a relatively straightforward fix, but it does involve digging into a file behind the scenes and making a few changes to that. So what you need to do in the first instance is close Chrome. And we need to go to our Windows Explorer. And at this point we go to our C drive and we find our users folder and who I'm logged in as. That's me, Andrew Sims. Actually, what I also need to do before I do that is I need to make sure that all Chrome processes are closed. So what I've done there is I've opened the Task Manager. I can do that by just simply hitting Control Shift and Escape at the same time. And I'm just going to have a look in here because I believe, yep, you can see Chrome is still running. These are actually all my little Chrome extensions that I've got going on my computer. So let's turn all these off. I have to quit them manually, but I need Chrome completely closed to make changes to this little file. Hopefully most of you won't have to do this because not a lot of people run huge numbers of Chrome extensions like I do when we're testing stuff, but I've closed all those now, so that's all good. Right, let's get back to my Windows Explorer. We come to my user folder, Andrew Sims. I do need to change my view so that I can see all hidden items. If I uncheck that, you can see a folder disappeared. I need the app data folder, so I need to be able to see my hidden items. Come into app data, local, Google, Chrome, user data, and it's in here. So it's a wee way down. I'm after this local state file. I need to open this up. If I double click on it, because it's got no file extension, the system doesn't know how to open it, so I want to use Notepad. And what we get is this great big file with a huge amount of text in it. And at this point, I'm looking for my Excel entry. So I'm going to look for MS Excel. Find next. Now what we've got here is a bunch of information. So you can see MS Excel, there's a setting in here, I'm just going to highlight it, and the setting is set to true. Now true means suppress the opening of Excel files. You can actually see the Word setting here, it's set to false. Now that setting means that I can open Word files directly from my browser, so I'm not suppressing it. So all I want to do is I want to change this to false. There we go. And actually, if I wanted, I haven't got a setting in here for PowerPoint. If I use PowerPoint, I can actually manually add that in if I didn't want to rely on that little pop-up. So I could go, where have we gone? What's happened to my, here we go, MS-PowerPoint. You just got to use the same syntax as all the others, false. Now I can open PowerPoint files as well, straight out of SuiteFiles into the desktop apps. I can close this and save it when I do. That's great. That's all done. Now what I need to do is I need to go back into Chrome. It's going to tell me that it didn't shut down correctly last time because I forced the closure of all those extensions. I'm going to go back to my SharePoint site or my SuiteFiles site. We logged ourselves back in. Now, in my training folder here, it was the Excel files that weren't opening properly. So let's click on Excel or the Excel document, and what you can see now is that file opens up, and it's as simple as that. And that's really, or it's called the Chrome External Protocol Request setting. It's a bit of a mouthful, but essentially what the symptom is my files don't open properly. When we're setting up a computer for the very first time for use with SuiteFiles, I always test to ensure that the various different file types open up, and if I need to, I'll go in and change that local state file so that we've got the right settings so that new users just get it right the very first time. That's how we set up the browser. That's all that's done. So a trusted site, the Chrome External Protocol request, and also our Chrome extension. The last thing we want to do is now set up our SuiteFiles Outlook add-in. So I've got my Outlook set up here, and you can see I don't have my SuiteFiles Outlook add-in set up in it. So what I actually need to do first up is close Outlook completely. And then from within SuiteFiles, again my little waffle or my Suite Apps icon here, I can click on there and you can see I've got the Download SuiteFiles Outlook option. Click on that. What this does is it downloads a zip file, and that zip file's got the installer for SuiteFiles Outlook. So let's show it in the folder. Okay, I need to extract, this is the latest Suite Mail version v2.zip. For some reason that's what we've called the zip file. Let's extract the contents of that. I do need to go through this extraction process. You need it actually, the file saved locally on your computer rather than in a zip file. So that's now extracted it, created a folder with the name of the zip file, and there's a subfolder in here, and in that is a file, suitemail.msi. Double click on that. Get this little pop-up asking me whether I really want to install it or not, and the answer of course is yes. And we just simply let this process run. So we're downloading the latest version of the app and we're installing it, and when that's finished, it's installed. At this point we open up Outlook again. And you can see the SuiteFiles Outlook add-in is now loading up, and it's not logged in yet, which is obvious because we've never logged in before. So all I do at this point is click log into SuiteFiles. I need to enter the I'll get this right. The best way to do it is I'd go back to SuiteFiles and I'd copy the URL. You don't need anything after the SharePoint.com. So let's go back and add that. and click log into SuiteFiles. Now you might get some of these script errors. These are just an annoyance actually at this stage. Just click on them, say yes, and get rid of them. But we can log in through those. We're actually right now working on a new login process that gets rid of all those script errors, gets them out of the way. Click yes, grant access. You may be asked to enter your Office 365 credentials, so your username and password. I haven't been asked to do that because I'm in and out of these things all the time, and they're just cached behind the scenes. But yeah, if you're asked for your credentials, just put your Office 365 username and password in there. And that should log us in very shortly. No, it didn't work that time. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, and so that's, yeah, this is how you log yourself in, obviously. And those are the key things in terms of setting up a Windows computer. It is setting up the browser and setting up SuiteFiles Outlook. And obviously I'm having issues with my demo site and logging in, so apologies about that. And those are all the things that I want to go through today. So now, actually, if you have questions, you can type them into our little GoToMeeting webinar tool, and I can answer those for you. If not, we're done. We've shown you everything. I'm recording this session. We will post this recording in our Help Center, plus also everyone who has registered for today's webinar will get a link to this recording. Please feel free to pass it around to anyone who you think needs to have a look at it. While questions may be coming in, I'm also going to put up this next page. If you need support, always remember we've got our knowledge base, which is just help.suitefiles.com, plus also our support email address, support@suitefiles.com. Feel free to use the knowledge base anytime, and also email our support team anytime you like. Okay, everyone, thank you very much for your time today. Really do appreciate you coming along to our session, and we'll be running another one in a couple of weeks. Hopefully you can come along to that also. Thanks a lot, and have a great day.